Boys and girls, welcome back to Starfield. In the last episode, we went to Mars. We paid off Dr. Walker's debt so he would come and work with me and Hadrian. And in this episode, it looks like we're going to get to the end of the question of where the hell the Terrormorphs are coming, because it seems like they're planted on the planets they're on by people that aren't any of the affiliated people in the Armistice Agreement. Or maybe I'm wrong, that's just what it seems like right now. I'm sure there'll be a plot twist somewhere, but Hadrian's been waiting for us since last episode, so let's talk to her right meow.
The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there. My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War, former head of the UC Navy. They called him Vae Victus, woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin, a title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come.
You're a clone of a man? How's that work? Dude, that's such a boomer response, but I'm curious.
A non-trivial amount of gene editing. Clone, honestly, isn't even really the right term for our relationship, thanks to the amount of donor material that was required to bring me into this world. He and I are different on more than a few levels, but there's no denying the fact we're inextricably linked.
Alright, that doesn't actually answer the question I thought my character had, but I'm more interested in what this has to do with us addressing the cabinet. I mean, I just want to progress the plot. I asked the one question I had and it didn't answer my question, so let's go.
I'm getting there. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death, on both sides. Freestar Collective and UC. Military and civilians. And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned.
The fucking Karen answer. Not sure I can blame them. This family of yours doesn't sound like they were paragons of virtue. Paragons of virtue. I mean, I watched Oxhorn's video talking about the Hall of all the things where they talk about what happened during the war. They were asked to do that, so of course they're going to be scapegoats when everything is said and done. They were just scapegoats. Like, everybody's guilty in war in some aspect. Those were just the people that were completely blamed to, like, make everything somewhat peaceful between the factions. But we're going with the top option.
I really appreciate you saying that. I just thought you deserved to know, considering how much you've done already.
Holding a grudge against where a person comes from, that is both ignorant and cruel.
Just the way things are sometimes. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast.
Unless there's
if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time. No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting out here.
Why are we getting a point of no return on, like, an introduction mission? This is like a mission you do at the beginning of the game. Is this the end game? Like, if we progress this, are we locked into the end of the game for the next 50 episodes?
Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Sounds like our cue.
Yeah, dude, they really kept us waiting. That's such an odd thing to say in the beginning. Unless, like, the entire thing I've been doing up until this point was, like, a prologue, and this is the end of the prologue, like in Cyberpunk? I don't think that's how this works, though, because that's not how Bethesda makes games, but...
Ugh. Wish that bartender at the viewport would stop complaining to security. I don't know what she lost, but she won't get it back.
It's very odd that they were giving us, like, a point of no return type dialogue there. Oh, we on... Trial. What's back here? New Atlantis. What? Okay.
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
Adrian made it clear that addressing this issue required the utmost urgency.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Why are you looking the wrong way?
Well, precisely how urgent is what I hope we'll determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terrormorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all three Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varuun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor.
To figure out where the Terrormorphs are coming from and stop them? Still trying to figure out what we're facing? No, we're not. We need the archival data to find a way to stop possible Terrormorph apocalypse.
That's quite the leap, Captain. Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting.
You're a loser, bro. I can already
would
tell.
argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy. Terrormorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon.
But they're happening more
They've
frequently,
been happening
dummy.
for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask, how many deaths the Cabinet requires to act? 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we?
That was pretty civil on our
While there should
end.
be no doubt, the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties. Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this Terrormorph seem at all alarming to you?
Maybe I'm missing context for not living in this universe the entire time, but like, first of all, did the Terrormorph's attack seem alarming to you? It wiped out an entire fucking colony. One Terrormorph wiped out a colony. And they're talking about, like, the Tau Ceti attack being the only attack. The other dude just acknowledged that Terrormorph attacks happen all the time. The problem is that they're getting more and more frequent. And there's, like, data that supports that theory that, like, they were doing it this way for the longest time, but now they're doing it this way, and this way, the new way, is more alarming is how they're happening. Bureaucratic red tape is always bullshit in, like, real life, in video game diplomacy, like, whatever you may have, but they're, like, cherry-picking and focusing on specific points of data, but they're not even acknowledging the other points of the data that, like, are equal, if not more important. They're also kind of downplaying the fact that Terrormorph attacks are happening in general. Like, I don't know, man. Like, if I lived in a place and there was a thing that wasn't supposed to be there attacking people in that place, generally people would vote to get it removed.
That is worth considering. This attack took place on an almost completely uninhabited world. The casualties were minimal as a result. But if there's another attack, will we be so lucky?
Yes, a fine point, Admiral. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
Yes. I understand why there's a question being asked, but why is the question being asked? Like, if we have a chance to stop this repeatable thing that keeps happening, why the fuck would we not do it? Madam President, if it were me, I wouldn't grant the request. The archives are sealed for a reason. That's a fucking head-ass answer.
Whatever risks exist, they are outweighed by this imminent threat. I agree. The request should be granted.
I'm inclined to agree.
As am I.
I suppose that does get to the heart of the point, doesn't it? Very well. I consent. The galaxy was lucky you were here today, Captain.
You and I are in agreement, Chief Diplomat. So, if there are no other objections, I believe we can agree to give our full backing to make the request to... What was that?
Attention. An incident has occurred. Facility lockdown engaged.
Ruh-roh, Reggie.
Incident. Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terrormorphs.
Terrormorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God.
As predicted by who? Us?
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got.
Okay.
You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming.
3 of us.
And that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it, ma'am.
All right. Well,
Captain,
hopefully,
right behind. Let's get down there.
hopefully this planet has better defenses than the one we were. Hello.
You! The EM rifle, grab it!
Hold to equip.
We're trying to help now hit him with everything you've got.
Everything I got is like not this. Everything I got would be the pistol. Why are the civilians going rogue? What are y'all doing?
Target down. One less target.
Why are y'all doing this? You good? I can't talk to you. Alright, whatever. Is there a reason the civilians are doing this? Are the Terrormorphs taking over people's brain? What? Why? What is happening?
No more signs of trouble. Got one.
Please! Do something!
I did do something. I don't understand what you need more from me.
One down.
So... were they not stunned before? I don't... What is the difference between this and that?
Thank you for what you did. We didn't want to hurt them.
The way those people were acting. I've seen this before. They were under the Terrormorphs' influence, weren't they?
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Pheromonic projection. Some Terrormorphs, they can induce this fog.
Okay.
It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control. Turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire. And keep that EM weapon at the ready.
Of course. Someone comes at me, I'm putting them down. Nah, that's not gonna fly.
Let's do it.
Nat's unlocked.
Alright, let's go. Take the Nat to the spaceport. Alright.
I believe we are not alone.
God, no time to waste, Captain. Stash the EM and pull some firepower. Let's
Evacuation order
move!
has been issued for the spaceport district. All citizens are required
Gonna be
to
okay.
proceed to the
It's
nearest
not real.
shelter.
Okay.
You might back up! Don't just stand there! Good!
Is there not like an automated defense system that would be helping us right now? Also, shout out to that Terrormorph for just picking up and banging that dude down. What other guns do I have? Do I have something that can actually hurt this thing? Where did my grenade launcher go? Oh, never mind, it's dead. Approach the officer in charge. I guess that's you with the dot over your head. Sergeant Yumi, what up?
We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad, but we're barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before, huh? Well, one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can.
Again, like, how does this place have less automated defenses than
Of course, the United Colonies is paying close attention.
a little
Heaven forbid
dumb,
someone
like,
escape their
agriculture planet we were just on? Who are you? Why do I have to talk to you? Oh, you're the fire team.
Heard you might be looking for some backup. You say the word.
You two have any experience with Terrormorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here. But we know...
Surviving a full-on mental assault isn't the same as keeping your cool in a firefight.
We're not UC security. You don't need to worry about us.
We need to worry about them. I'll take the risk, but they're probably gonna turn.
Roger that. We're on.
Pardon. Eyes open.
Really hoping you guys don't do that, but it probably will happen. Oh, here's my grenade launcher. Why was it sleeping? Oh fuck, I just...
Captain, you're going to be okay. It's not real. Whatever.
Join us in the bliss.
It's not real. We have to put
Why am I fighting Faith from Far Cry 5 all of a sudden?
Where are you?
Looking at me, buddy.
Where? Take much more.
Best not to leave anything useful behind.
Oh, I think this was my doing. Yeah, I definitely nuked that, brother. My bad, man. I mean, you're dead. You don't really care anymore, but I definitely am the reason you're not alive. I'm probably a little bit too far away to fight that guy. Now, for being a grenade launcher, this thing doesn't really do as much damage as I was hoping it would.
Surrounded. All around. No way out.
Yeah, this is hella Far Cry 5. The only issue I'm running into is that I can't throw grenades quick enough. Maybe even a little bit inspired by the flood from Halo.
No! No, no!
Alright, they're dead. We can stop being talked to now.
All wrapped up. We should go tell the sergeant what happened.
Oh, did our
Most of the
Space
city is
Marines...
safe, thanks to us. You deserve whatever accolades you have coming.
Damn, our Space Marines really really died. The best the UC had to offer didn't outlast a smuggler, I don't even know, a miner, and then a scientist. I was trying to make a Fallout joke, like whenever I murk people running around with a robot dog and a gay doctor, like in New Vegas with Rex and Arcade, but nah. Your Marines got smoked, buddy.
Thank the heavens you're back in one piece. Well, I guess our people weren't so lucky.
To be fair, I did kill the first guy on accident, but the other two people just... they were cannon fodder.
The few protecting the many.
And it would have been plenty more if it hadn't been for the two of you.
3 of us.
The city owes you both a debt after this.
We were just in the right place at the right time. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terrormorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
In some weird plot twist that I predict is coming at some point, I'm gonna throw a giant-ass curveball out there. I'm gonna throw a really weird curveball out there that Hadrian is doing all the Terrormorph attacks to make herself come back to relevancy and be important. Like some really weird power trip that only she knows how to deal with. So she's gonna be the one in charge. That's like 99% likely not happening, but I'm gonna throw it out there for the 1% that is exactly what's happening, just to say that I called it. What a weird plot twist that would be if Hadrian and Dr. Walker are just doing this to become powerful of the universe, and it just starts like this.
Thank you, gentlemen. Let your people all know how much we owe them today.
We're counting on you, Captain.
Ah, there you are.
Don't let my people's sacrifice
I believe
be in vain.
we have some things
we
should discuss. Captain, Hadrian, it would appear that the Cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today, as well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terrormorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
Agreed, thank you.
Of course. I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, today's events have only clarified our path forward in the eyes of the Cabinet. You will have our full support in collecting the Terrormorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, someone who knows precisely the sort. The Cabinet wants you, Captain.
If you're sure that's the wisest course of action? We're the main characters, so all these other options saying, oh, it can't be me, are just silly. Of course, it's gonna be us.
We do. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, will you help us?
I'm gonna do it because I have to do it? The fast-tracking of my citizenship is really not a bargaining chip. But sure.
I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support.
Okay.
Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed. You have my attention.
Okay. That's eyewitnesses complete.
Chief Engineer Kulkarni. Start getting a plan together for that data.
Oh no, her name changed to Major Hadrian Sannon. That can't be good. That's like step 1 on my path to what I was saying on the way up here, that her and Dr. Percival Walker are just unleashing Terrormorphs on people, so they have to come back and be in charge to, to stop the attacks. Oh no.
These orders, a Vanguard captain. You... Yes, sir. I'll make sure they get what they require.
I heard that. You don't seem very confident in what I can do. You also seem like you don't understand the situation at hand.
That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second-in-command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack. You have my gratitude. I was also informed that you gave quite the presentation to the cabinet. Chief Yassine wants you to know the Interstellar Affairs Office is fully committed to this endeavor, accessing the Terrormorph data and beyond. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure you have the tools you need. And that means first getting you into the archives. You do know what the archives are, correct?
And they're a building.
Someone paid attention in current events. So, then you also know that it was originally managed by the 3 major galactic players.
Yes, I do.
Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency, and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 armistice signatories. UC.
Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll get them both and you'll have your data.
No problem, just gonna need some electrodes, a tooth extractor, and some sodium pentothal. Okay.
Very funny. This is going to be hard enough already.
Not really.
Both ambassadors have reasons they won't or can't. Now, I'll provide guidance on...
And I do mean co-op, though that doesn't mean...
But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're
Holy shit, dialogue, stop.
Ambassador Radcliff of Freestar, or
Considering what I've done for the Freestar Collective, assuming there's any sense of progression breaking built into this quest, the Freestar Collective shouldn't be that hard. House Varuun, on the other hand, their entire existence in the Armistice is basically just so whatever happened to the both Freestar Collective and the UC doesn't happen to them. They don't really have a horse in the running other than they just don't want to be mech'd or terrormorphed. So it's not like they have any personal or sentimental investment into this, they just kind of don't want to get destroyed.
The good ambassador.
It sounds as though I will.
Now, officially, use your experience, and who knows? But my suspicion...
No one can be that stubborn New Atlantis was just attacked. They have no reason to care about New Atlantis. They're a completely different faction in a different part of the world on a completely different wavelength of thinking. We're not friends with them. We're just kind of agreeing not to fight. There's a strong chance I just skipped all that dialogue in the edit because nothing that was said was really important. I got the who and the where, and that's all I needed to know. Everything else was extracurricular, extraneous information that were just being said to me to make it seem like it's super way more important than it actually is. We got the who and the why and the where. That's all we needed. I am so confused on where this marker is telling me to go. If it's telling me to go back to the Mass District, it just told me to leave the Mass District. And the fact that it's telling me to get back onto the train isn't really doing a lot for my confidence on this. Okay, we're going to the Commercial District, my bad. And the place we are going in the Commercial District is on the other side of the Commercial District, it would seem. Real quick, random thought. Do I have a level up? Yes, I do. Give me 1 sec. Oh, they have an embassy here. Is this what you were talking about? Because you started that dialogue really far ago.
I cannot help but notice that the Colony War Memorial is in direct line of sight of this embassy.
You our visitor?
I suspect that was very much
The NPC distance whenever they're talking doesn't seem to have, a fall off.
If you have the time, I wish to speak to you.
I'm sure you do.
I wonder how many times one side or the other has threatened to close this embassy down over the years.
Security, and they still can't protect their own spaceport. The UC never fails to disappoint. I just wish I hadn't received the news from an SSNN broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
Of course, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Excuse me. Are you supposed to be in here?
How did the security guard up?
Comfortable in the lobby.
Oh, hello? How did the security guard upstairs know who I was, but you don't?
I'm sorry. Do you have an appointment?
Why would I introduce myself as UC Vanguard when I'm literally a Freestar Ranger? I guess they didn't account for me doing that quest before this one.
Ah, you're the one McIntyre called about. The eyewitness. She said you were at the spaceport. You have my thanks for what you did down there, truly. Saved many lives. Now, she also mentioned that, and maybe it was just a bad connection, that now the UC wants Terrormorph data from the Armistice archives, some of the most highly guarded information in the galaxy, in order to protect us all.
Not the
I
UC.
can only presume you're here to tell me I misheard her and that they didn't send you, local hero, to futilely beg on their behalf. Tell me I've got that right.
Not entirely. Of course, this is just going to come down to bad script writing. The UC doesn't want the data. I want the data. And you're also talking to me like I'm not a member of the Freestar Rangers and a really high-ranking member in your own society, so I'm guessing there actually is zero crossover between those.
Excuse me. A less level-headed person might think that was a threat, Captain.
No, it was just saying what would happen.
Stating the obvious. If you are threatened by that, perhaps you should do something about it. Like, help us.
And just give the UC free run of the archives?
Again,
I may as well
no.
resign right now. Let me be frank, Captain. The answer is no. I will not be the one responsible for...
Again, Ambassador, you're not listening. I wish you could just talk to me, because that would be much easier than the pre-written spew of bullshit that the fucking Bethesda writers put here, because this is so poorly worded. The UC doesn't want the records either. They were super against it at first, too. The people that want the data are me and Major Hadrian. But there's no option to say that the UC aren't the people that want the data, so of course it's gonna be like this. I can't even use that as a bargaining chip because she's a Freestar ambassador and they don't give a shit about the UC. You heard what she was saying when they came in here.
You're really gonna push this?
Oh my god, there is an option.
I don't care if you're the God Emperor of
That didn't work. Why would
you are right now.
Why would that option not work? She's been so anti-UC this entire time, and then me showing her that I'm literally a high-ranking official in the state of the Freestar Collective just doesn't matter to her. This game has some really quirky dialogue in some sections. Holy shit.
Oh, please. Buttering. Please don't talk to me like I'm some cold... Captain, I'm sorry.
You're so fucking dense.
This building is Freestar sovereign territory.
That woman is an absolute... Oh, sorry. Oh, what? You're the Vanguard captain, right? You know, I was about to board the Nat to the spaceport when the alarm triggered. Sounds like I got real lucky.
We're in Freestar Collective.
Like I've got you to thank for things not being a lot uglier.
We're in Freestar Collective territory, technically. You can refer to me as the Ranger that I am, doing my duty.
Doubt the Vanguard would have a lot of recruits if that were the job description. But I'll take your point. But look, they said you were coming here on official business?
Yep.
The ambassador likes to handle all that personally.
Oh, she's kind of being a
Have
bitch.
trained diplomats here to help her. And I don't want to get shipped back to Aquila City, so... you...
Sounds like you could be doing a lot more like working with me.
You want to work with me?
I guess.
Why don't we talk?
Okay, sure.
So you want me to work with you? But why now? Why me?
Your ambassador is refusing to help.
No, I think that's a pretty safe assumption. And no other city should have to go through what happened here. So then, what would you need from me? The code machine? Only the
Okay, so that eliminates the first option too, I guess. So I need the second one?
Her quarters. Huh. Oh, that's doable. And you and the UC will be providing me with...
Oh my god, bureaucracy. 1,000 credits isn't anything.
Oh, wait. I thought you were looking to hire... okay, so... Here. I'll...
Alright, so we just paid him off. It might be the best course of action. I actually don't know. Alright, now we're in here.
Agent detected. Patching in playback.
some experts at that sort of thing, huh? Good night, Eva.
Front Radcliff. There is an open seat because I killed Ron Hope, but... Alright. Blackmail it is.
Did I not make myself abundantly clear, Captain? You're not getting access to the archive.
I think I am.
Excuse me? I have no idea what you're talking about.
UC is more powerful than you can imagine. We know all your secrets. She's getting up. She's just leaving. Don't play dumb ambassador. It's embarrassing. Yeah, we can be a dick at this point.
No. If the council found out, I'd lose my position. I'd be exiled. Look, I believe we may have gotten off on the wrong foot. The issue at hand is one of trust, no? So perhaps if I can trust
it's a matter
you
of
to keep
science.
this little secret between us, then maybe we can find a way to trust the UC with access to the archives.
Again, there's no option to say it. The UC isn't the one getting the access. It is me.
Good. I appreciate you working with me. Just like I'm sure our great powers will.
Yeah, whatever. You're still
In
a
fact,
bitch.
I think there's an opportunity here. Keep both our factions happy and ensure an air... I can only let you get the information on the Terrormorphs. Anything else and people will get suspicious.
That is all I wanted.
And all research will need to be monitored. Freestar scientific observers making sure... But those two items should be enough to allay any suspicions. Good. Okay.
That is literally all I needed the entire time, but you didn't listen to any amount of logic when I tried persuading you. I can't wait to never talk to you again. You're gonna drag me into a back alley and try to, like, beat the shit out of me or something.
They tell me it should only take a moment. And there. Code generators just this way.
Is that all I needed? Because I would really like to leave now and never talk to you again. That was so unnecessarily difficult. Like, she's just such a bad person. Not willing to listen to any logic or, like, any sense of empathy. Just because it happened on a UC planet doesn't mean it can't happen on a Freestar Collective planet. Now we have to go find House Varuun, and I have no idea where they would be at. I don't assume they have an embassy here. Oh, do they? House Varuun has an embassy? Okay. Their embassy appears to be abandoned.
If you have the time, I wish to speak to you. This is certain. Anything else in New Atlantis?
Alright, so the power's back on and I... Okay, hello. Oh, the turrets are on my side. The robots aren't, but okay. Why are there mannequins? Dude, what in the hell? I can't... Why are there mannequins? It's so odd. I also have no idea how I'm supposed to get through this. I can't boost over it. Oh, there's a hole in the wall. Alright, I lied. I guess the turrets aren't on my side. I don't know why I updated the turrets and they're attacking me. Alright, so do we go back down now? Hello, how long?
What seems punishment becomes providence. A reminder we can never truly know the Great Serpent's designs for us. You have my thanks, and my apologies for the ordeal you just endured. Come, let us discuss.
Alright, the individual's busy.
Not the ideal introduction, I suppose, giving you a grand tour of the embassy via barely functioning intercoms. I do greatly appreciate your persistence. I suspect the Venom tree upstairs has worked itself into more systems than I'd realized. But then again, who could cage such a beauty? Eh? Tell me though, what is it like outside? I heard the broadcast mentioning an attack, then the embassy was struck with a power surge and then silence. Has the rest of the city suffered quite so badly? Is that right, huh? I shall need to have these repairs seen to sooner rather than later. Now, it cannot solely be the Serpent's grace that brought you here at such an opportune moment. You were sent by the UC. That much is obvious. Who else could just waltz through my door, hmm? And the broadcast spoke of Terrormorphs at the spaceport. A worrying occurrence, certainly, but coming here of all places, when all I could provide is some enthused cheerleading and... an archive code. So the UC requires information, then. On Terrormorphs, presumably, hmm? Do I see this all clearly?
Yeah, pretty much, except it's me and not the UC, but I guess I am the UC at this point, because everyone keeps talking about it like that.
The preservation of life stands as the very purpose of the archives. Using its data to prevent more attacks, there is logic there. But if I am to grant you access, I have a requirement.
Naturally, what is it?
House Varuun has been known only as an agent of slaughter. We founded this embassy with hopes of shedding that legacy. With little success. In exchange for my code, I require this. You must be the one who ensures it is used for good. Ensure House Varuun's legacy is more than just carnage.
Okay.
The knowledge you ask for isn't evil. No knowledge is. It is we who bend it.
You don't need my assurances. Independent observers will verify its use responsibly.
Every measure will be taken to ensure the information is used for good.
Well, then I shall not fear. Please, follow me.
If you have the time, I wish to speak.
Andreja, wait, I need to install a mod that turns you off. I skipped through the dialogue with the UC person, but they said that House Varuun would be the tougher one to deal with. Nah, that was pretty straightforward. There wasn't even a speech check.
There. Let it be used for good.
Return to Deputy McIntyre Interstellar Affairs. Okie. I fast traveled to the Mass District and it said to go somewhere else, and I went somewhere else and it says to go here. Why is it telling me to go to this elevator? That's so silly. Why? What's wrong with the elevator at the Mass District that I just went to?
Sergeant Yumi's looking for reliable people to help the guard. Contact him if you're interested. We'd all appreciate it.
Captain, you're back sooner than... Oh, wait. Did you actually succeed? With Radcliff? And Balmore?
Balmore was
We're all
easy.
in
I had to
agreement.
blackmail Radcliff.
That's incredible. I wasn't sure Radcliff would ever get on board. I'm very much looking forward to getting the debrief on how precisely you managed to pull all this off, but that'll have to wait for another time. Regardless, superlative work, Captain.
Thank
And
you.
now, I've already arranged everything with the archival monitors. When you get down there, the UC monitor will give you instructions on how to deploy the codes. Follow... Here, the UC code piece and an archival access card. The entrance is just on the other side of the plaza across from Mast. Absolute best behavior down there, all right?
Okay. Alright, so...
Captain, congratulations.
Gotta go over there. Does it matter which door I go through?
Captain.
Nope.
We've been expecting you. Please approach the monitoring station and we will go over the rules. Welcome, Captain, to the archives. To proceed, you will need to deposit your codes into the 3 corresponding receptacles. Once they are verified, I will open the door.
Okay.
Your data resides in Unit 18. You will not be able to access any of the other units. Once you've collected your data, return to the entrance. You may insert the first of the archival codes when you're ready to begin.
Okie dokie. Alright, I thought this would be more of a mini-game, but nope, we're just pressing F.
Verified. Unlock engaged. You may proceed, Captain.
Press F to collect data. And then we're out. They're telling me to go back to that stupid elevator below me? I think it is. I'm just gonna use the other elevator.
Captain, surprised to find out we're having visitors as we work.
Major Sinan and I were just discussing the merits of your planned interfactional cooperation. I think it's a great idea. Get them invested in the solution. Make it clear we've got nothing to hide.
I'm sure they'll be lovely house guests.
Now, Captain, if you wouldn't mind transferring the documents to the Major, she and I have been discussing next steps.
Okay, here.
Time for us to start getting some real answers. And figure out if we've been asking the right questions. So whenever you're ready. Acknowledged and accepted, Captain. So, with the data out of the way, we've been discussing where exactly this work's getting done. The Red Devil's headquarters on Mars, back where you found Percival, seemed the natural spot. Already has the equipment, the safety measures. Should even be able to house its own cadre of independent observers. Though it sounded like the deputy had a few more things she needed to discuss with you first.
Indeed. The most important of which is getting you your citizenship.
Then I guess we'll see you on Mars.
Captain, if you'll follow me.
Okay. I don't see why getting my citizenship in the middle of figuring out where Terrormorphs are coming from is the important thing, but sure. Are you gonna throw me off this?
All right, Captain. Are you ready to become a citizen of the United Colonies?
Sure.
Good. This isn't the only item we need to discuss, so I'll give you the... Please raise your hand. Captain, through your actions today and in days past, you have earned your place among the United Colonies. Through service, bravery, strength, and upholding of the mutual good. Will you carry and cultivate these values for as long as you remain a citizen?
I will.
Then, Captain, I'm pleased to welcome you into the United Colonies as a full citizen. Here, your official ID and your citizenship dispensation.
We've also let the Aphelion Realty office out in the plaza know you're approved to purchase property.
Okay.
Now, the other item we needed to discuss. There's a member of the UC who's asked to speak to you, but this person is in a sensitive position.
Normally, we wouldn't even consider something like this, but we think this person has information that could prove useful in dealing with the Terrormorphs.
Okay.
And they've stated they'll only share it with you. They asked for you by name.
So I need your agreement that everything you're about...
Yep.
Let's hope it never comes to that. Head to the elevator. You're going to subsection 7. I'll make sure you're cleared for access by the time you get there.
I am just getting handed money. However, with that said, we're going to take up that part of the mission in the next episode. So if you've enjoyed, leave that like and sub down below, and we will come back to this mission in the next part. Pizza.